My name is Martin. I have been studying charisma and social skills for 3 years straight. And in today's video, I'm about to expose 5 most important principles to social skills, and people who don't use these principles always fall behind and they never get respected by the other people around them. When I was younger, I always had a huge problem because I was always the kid that was not being able to actively listen towards the people who were around me, because I was always the chaotic kid, the kid who was always interrupting people. I still remember this one story when this one friend of mine tried to tell me his feelings, tried to tell me how one girl broke his heart. And because I was unable to actively listen to him, I was unable to get liked by other people. I immediately jumped into the conversation and I immediately started calling him a huge dick because it's all his fault. And who would love a person like that? Who would love a person that would just interrupt you in the middle of your storytelling? Who would love a person that would interrupt you when you just want to share your feelings? And that's where the first biggest lesson comes in, and that is active listening. Like I said, when I was younger, I always interrupted people and I was always toxic, and it was a horrible mindset I had because, to be honest, yes, I was really extroverted, but what I was lacking was emotional understanding, because I was not able to understand that if someone were to do that shit to me that I was doing to other people, they would just not like me. And now, do you think that I am a friend with that person who I basically interrupted in the middle of the most emotional conversation of his life, probably? No, I'm not friends with him because he understood of how of a big of a loser I was. But throughout the 3 years of me learning charisma and social skills, I realized that active listening is one of the most important things. And active listening is when you will not judge the other person, you will just listen. You try to understand their point instead of dethroning the point, instead of judging them. If someone were to tell you that I have gotten a B on a test, a lot of people were to judge that person. A lot of people would say, oh, dude, listen, a B, dude? How could you even do that? I got an A, dude. And they will try to one-up the person. That's the first thing they will do. And second of all, they will try to judge. So most people will just say, oh, I'm better than you. I got an A, dude. And listen, even though you got a B, what the fuck did you do wrong? Did you absolutely suck? Look at the paper. They will pull up their paper and will say, you fucked up this, you fucked up this. And they will try to judge and they will try to one-up the other person. But I learned how to stop making this huge mistake, because people just want to feel heard a lot of the times. They don't want your advice. They don't want to know that you got the A on the test or you got the promotion and they didn't. They don't want to know that. They want to just express their feeling. If that story were to continue, probably that person were to say, oh, I got a B on that test. I was not really learning that much that day. The test was really hard. And instead of saying that, oh, you suck, I got an A, just understand and ask more questions. What was the hardest question? What made you not learn the other day? These types of questions show empathy, and they don't show the stupid one-upping energy, that arrogant energy that everyone hates, because people like to one-up the other person because they like to share their wins. And of course, there is nothing wrong with sharing your wins, but you sometimes need to understand the situational understanding of when someone is just trying to express their feelings and is just trying to get something off of their chest. And that's what psychologists learn how to do so well, that they are getting paid so much money. And if you do that, people will love you because you will be basically like a psychiatrist. So instead of judging people and saying that they have done this wrong and then you have done this better than them, instead of doing all of that, what I have learned is that if you just listen towards people, they'll be much more open to your ideas. But what nobody talks about is that if you really judge people and you really give them so much advice, even though they just want to get that feeling off of their chest, most of the time what will actually happen is that these people will close off and they will not want to talk to you anymore, because they know that, oh, this person is not here to understand me, this person is here to judge me. And now let's move to the second trick. And I have to be honest, when I was also younger, I was a really toxic person. Whenever someone celebrated a win, I always come up to them and, oh, you have done this wrong, you have done that, you have done that. Instead of me just dabbing them up and saying, listen bro, you have done so well, I'm so happy for you, I never did that. And throughout the 3 years of learning charisma and social skills, I have realized that that is a really important principle when it comes to social skills, because who would you love more? A person who is always toxic, and this person is never going to celebrate your achievements, and he's gonna be always toxic. And then the second person who is always celebrating with you, he always dabs you up and tells you how great you have done. That is the energy that we need, because that energy is extremely memorable in a good way. Because this toxic, disgusting energy is memorable, but in a really bad way. And this again ties to not judging people, because if you judge other people, if they celebrate something, you have destroyed the entire moment. And I'm gonna tell you a story how this happened to me. Probably 3 months ago, I was trying to hit the 100 kg bench press. And I done it. I have completed my hard working achievement. And then one friend came up to me and he said, "Martin, look at the bar you got there. That ain't a 100 kg. I have been benching with that bar. That bar is not 20 kg, it's 15. How would you feel if a goal that you worked so hard for would get destroyed by some random person because suddenly, you've not achieved that, that was just all in your mind? How would that hurt your feelings?" And he did not say it in a very polite, very empathetic way. He said it arrogantly, like he needs to be the better one. And this same person came up to me 1 week later and he said, "Listen, Martin, I have done lateral raises 20 kg on 4 reps. And I told him, great, I'm so happy for you. That is a huge weight right there. He said, "But if you would start actually to work in the gym and not slack off so many times, you would actually get to the same weight as I am on." Dude, what are you talking about? I've just complimented you on your weight and you are now saying, but if you were to work as hard as I am, you would actually get to the same weight. Dude, I am stronger than him. I am richly stronger than that guy. But what is really interesting in that moment is that I have not told him that I am stronger on lateral raises than him. But I never wished to say any of it to him because I would just know that he would get even more mad because I am doing a higher weight than him. And that might sound weird because a lot of people were to just immediately respond to the other person and would just say, no, but I'm doing more than you, blah, blah, blah. But I did not wish to do that because I knew that a person like that is not worth arguing with. And that's also another bonus trick that you can use. If you know that you are better than someone, objectively, that is the best time to not say anything to them if they are trying to dethrone you. He did 20 kg 4 times. To make it simpler, just 4 times. He did it 4 times. I did the same weight 8 times. And he started to do, if you would actually work, you would actually get the same weight. But in fact, I was doing 4 more reps than him, but I did not told him till this day. What I've realized is that if someone is bullshitting you, someone is trying to dethrone you, just say nothing. Because the most confident people do not have to react. They are not moved by other people's opinion. And second of all, if someone gets a huge win, celebrate with them. Don't be like that guy who said, that bar is 15 more less kg, so you are not... He's benching 15 less kg than I am. Just the objective truth. The hate only comes from below, never from above. If you want to take hate from someone, take it from someone who is above you. If a YouTuber, for example, with 5 million subscribers or even 10,000 subscribers were to came up to me and say, "Oh, listen, this video right here, I would improve this and this." Oh, you best believe you are taking his advice. But if some guy who just has 6 subscribers and no videos and all of the subscribers are his mom, his dad, his older brother and 3 friends in his school, you are probably not gonna take his advice. And that's also what I've learned, how to not take hate personally. If someone is better than you, of course, objectively there is something to learn from them. But if someone is just saying, get them out of there and do not listen to their advice whatsoever. Because you know that you might be better. Always celebrate people's wins. Because when I hit that 100 kg bench press, I posted it on my Instagram page. And I can still remember every single one of the people that said, "Listen, Martin, you have done amazing, good job, we are so proud of you." I still remember every single one of them because they were positive. They were not trying to say, but actually that bar is 15k. No, that is not the right situation to say something like that. Let the moment sink in, tell them how great they have done it, and after maybe 2 hours of them, or maybe the next day, just tell them that, because they are in the hype of the situation. Let them be there. Let them think that they have done something great. And after that is done, then you can speak. But actually, we all make mistakes. So what should we do when we made a huge mistake? And this is where the trick number 3 comes into place. And this trick is single-handedly so overpowered because it creates a perfect apology. This is the apology framework. This framework is called A. Acknowledge, apologize, and advance. These 3, if you combine them together, they will make up the best apology that you can ever make. But if you want to make the AAA framework, first you have to mean it honestly. If you don't mean the AAA framework honestly, it's not gonna work, because people are gonna see through your bullshitting. As the first most important thing, if you want to use this method, you have to be honest. And after we know that you are honest, let's get into the framework. Acknowledge, apologize, and advance. Acknowledge is the first part of the apology. If you have fucked up something, if you have done something horribly bad, and just to illustrate this, I'm gonna tell you another story. One day, I was late into the gym and I left my friend hanging there. Unfortunately, something like that happens, and I am working on myself also, because I'm not a perfect human being and I also want to improve my own self. And I left my friend hanging, unfortunately, there. Of course, I called him and I said, listen, bro, I am not able to come to the gym because blah, blah, blah. Shit happened. But then, after I came into the gym and he was already done with his workout, I had to apologize because I did not come to the gym. And what was the best course of action? And you have to make this course of action, this framework, honestly. But after you mean all of that honestly, that's when you can start by implementing the first A. In my story, I used acknowledgement like this. Listen, bro, if I was in your shoes, I would be extremely mad also. And I would be extremely pissed off at what my friend did. And I completely understand that. And that shows high levels of empathy, and that you understand the situation and you understand the emotional understanding of the other person. That's the first A, the acknowledgement. Then the second A is apologize. And when you want to apologize, you also need to take responsibility. How do we make the second A come into reality? What I said was, I am really sorry for my behavior. It's all my fault, because I know that I could have managed my time differently, and I know that my time management skill is not that great. And again, I am really, really sorry. That is the second most important thing when it comes to apologizing. The actual apology with also taking responsibility. And the final step of this method is the final A, advance. And in my story, it went like this. And I can assure you that this will not ever happen again, because I will work on myself and this will not happen again, and I will try to better myself. That last A is the saying to the other person that you are going to advance and you're gonna improve who you truly are. First A, you acknowledge them, use empathy and emotional understanding. Second A, you actually apologize and take responsibility. And the final A, you advance and you acknowledge your own mistakes, and you will tell them that you will do better from now on. And this creates an extremely powerful apology. Another social skills that a lot of people are missing out on is basically just a human vocal and physical presence. And this is where a lot of people get interrupted. When I was younger, I was not having a very good body language. And I could always remember how people were cutting me off, how people were interrupting me, and I hated that shit. And that's when I researched on YouTube how to not get interrupted by other people. And I want to show this important trick with you all. If you keep your eye contact strong, your physical and vocal presence strong also, nobody will want to interrupt you. Let's first move to the vocal presence right here. If someone were to come up to you and they would start telling a story, and the story would go something like, yeah guys, today I would like to tell you a story about how one day I have... That is insanely easy to interrupt. That behavior is so easy to interrupt that you would interrupt that person in the millisecond that they would start speaking, because their voice is so low volume. It would be one of the most easiest things to interrupt this person because they are not speaking on a high levels of volume. And that's the first thing. If we want to improve our vocal presence, we need to improve our volume. And when I started using higher levels of volume and using a much deeper voice, that's when I understood. If you are a woman and you are watching this, you can get away with a more pitched type of voice. But if you are a man and you are using a very pitch voice, you are not gonna get away with that. You're gonna be seen as a fucking gay person. Train your vocal cords to be in a much higher volume and in a deeper voice if you are a man. And after that is done, still we need to improve our physical presence. If someone were to be like this, it's much more easy to interrupt me now because I'm playing the small fish in the pond. But if I go like a shark, like a crazy dominator right now, it is much less hard to interrupt me because I am using high levels of volume with also extremely expressive body language that I stand by my opinion. And if someone were to see a man expressing this opinion like this, no one would interrupt him because they all know that he is speaking right now and he really values his word. And how can we make our body language be better? First of all, it's our eye contact, because if you don't have eye contact, yeah, guys, no. And the second thing is being open, taking up space. And I still will repeat this on the channel because some people just go out into the whole world and they take so less space because they are scared that they're gonna offend someone. But if I offend someone with this body language right now, why do I care? Nobody cares. Now people will perceive me as much more charismatic, much more respectful because I am using this open body language. And in some weird way, this arrogant type of body language works. I don't want you to become an arrogant motherfucker. Listen, this is a huge disclaimer right here. Being extremely arrogant and taking 100% of the space, being absolutely insane with your body language, that's gonna come across as really arrogant. But if you also take no space whatsoever and you want to avoid human connection altogether, that's the time when you will also fail. That's why the method is to take 60 to 70% of the space and not to take crazy amounts, but if you want to take a little bit more, completely okay. 100% fine with it. What to do if a room is bigger? What to do if you are on a presentation, for example? If I am presenting in front of my class, for example, or I am in a very big group of friends, for example, 5 or 6 people I'm talking to, that is the perfect way to play a bigger version of yourself, because that's the time when your vocal presence will go higher, and second thing, your physical presence will go higher. And that's also because of the quantity of people. If you have, for example, 5 people in a group, it's infinitely easier for one of them to interrupt you. If you are playing a poker and you have 6 players onto the table, there is a much higher chance that someone is about to have better cards than you. And that's why we need to have a much better physical and vocal presence when we are in a bigger group, because we need to play a bigger version of ourselves. And then finally, one of the most important credits you have all seen very highly successful actors always do. When they win a huge medal, a huge Oscar, for example, what do they always say? They always say the most important words out there. And in this case, the words are, I could not have done it without the. And why do you think everyone says that? Because that is one of the most important sentences when it comes to social skills. You giving credit to other people. And that is the final trick, the trick number 5. Giving credit to other people. This is a very simple trick that you can do anytime that you make a huge win in your life. If you are on a stage talking, or you just feel like a good human being at that day, you can just click your fingers and immediately give someone a huge credit and a huge ego boost, because you acknowledge their actions. David right here next to me, he was such a brilliant person. I love him so much. He's so great. Listen, Adam, listen, you also, if it would not be because of you, I would not be in the situation I'm in right now. And then you can even make it more personalized and say, David, you have helped me so much with creating YouTube videos. You are one of the best editors. You, Adam, you helped me with scripting and with making thumbnails. I'm a YouTuber, that's why I say these things. But if you are maybe a CEO, maybe you are in a corporation, whatever suits you, those words, if you make them personalized, they will stick out with the other person much more. For example, if you are in the gym, I couldn't have done it without you, Adam. One day I remember I bought from you this huge protein powder and because of that protein powder, I believe that helped me to skyrocket to 100 kg bench press also. That is much more personalized now because you are now going to a specific little thing that they have done for you. And if you do that, oh my god, they about to remember you forever. And what these people never do is that they will say, oh, I've done this, it's all me, dude, I have worked so hard for this. Yes, everyone knows you worked hard, but what they want to hear is not you working hard, but you giving credit to other people. And they want to hear you say that name when you are on the stage or you have done this amazing victory. They are waiting for you to acknowledge their name. And that is also a little bit of a bonus trick. Never forget other people's names. If you forget people's names, the situations would get really awkward really quickly because I hate that feeling when I have to ask that one person in the gym, bro, listen, bro, have we met before? Have you ever told me your name? And it can get very awkward very quickly. So if you want to completely demolish that situation, also this is a 6th bonus trick for the people who have got this far. If you want to remember someone else's name, ask them for their name, for example, David, and you have to say that name 3 times in the next sentence. So listen, David, what got you to the gym? And then after he responds, you can say, okay, David, and what do you think is the best exercise in the entire gym? And after he says that also, you can say, and what diet are you on, David? And that will automatically put David obsession inside your mind. And after that is done, you'll be able to remember everyone's names almost in the click of your fingers. Also for the people who got this far, I have a very special surprise. I am the creator of the social yin yang. The light side is you being able to be charismatic, understanding and loving and giving compliments to the people around you and listen towards their ideas with empathy. But the dark side is you being able to be assertive, take a stand if needed, and being respected by the other people around you and never wearing this stupid mask on your face to please other people again. And if you combine the light side with the dark side, you'll be able to unlock charisma mastery, the social yin-yang, the unfair advantage when it comes to charisma and social skills. And even better, I am teaching social yin-yang live on one-on-one calls. So if you are interested in me teaching you social yin-yang and you becoming the most charismatic version of yourself without wearing this stupid mask on your face, click the first link in the description. I will see you there. And if you want to know what happens when someone spends 3 years of their life learning charisma and social skills, you should watch this video right here. Live a happy life.